One of our main services that we offer is we support all manufacturers, not only just our own. So we have full parts and service capabilities that we have technicians all over the globe servicing our systems. Another main item that we are real big on is the control systems for our composite and aerospace applications. This is one of our systems here. It's a Bondtech Envision software that we support. With our Bondtech Envision software, customers now have the ability to have complete control of their system from beginning to end. With just the touch of a couple buttons, they go from the main screen, which tells all the information, vital information about their system, about what they're curing, jumping over to an operate screen to where they can just choose a recipe, start the cycle, and move on. This is the main page of the operator screen, just giving the what recipe it is, what the thermocouples are doing, what they are reading, as well as the vacuum system. And it also tells you how much time is left in that particular recipe. Moving over to the maintenance screen, this is how you would calibrate for your maintenance and our technicians, showing what the air TC calibration is, pressure, vacuum, as well as the individual part thermocouples within the system. The System I/O screen lets you have a full view of the operating parameters of the entire autoclave and about what each individual component is doing, indicating that with the green and yellow indicators, whether or not that particular valve is open or closed, that particular sensor is on or off, just as the safety, for example, right here you got the safety handle showing that it is closed with the yellow indicator. And also the flashing down here is showing that each individual vacuum transducer is whether or not they're active or not. The setup TC and recipe, that is the setup thermocouple and recipe page. Here's where you can actually go through and choose which recipe you want to load for that particular cycle or that product that you are running in that time. The operate screen is actually the main screen of the system, and this is what most of the users will use. Here you can actually see what current recipe is being shown based on the product that is being used at that time, and what step is along that process in that cycle, what is left in the number. It also tells you what the termination set point is for each individual item, whether it be the temperature set point, pressure, or time, and then what the next step to follow will show. Also gives you the running conditions as far as temperature and pressure, what is actually being ran at that moment, and then what the set point is and how much time has left to make that set point. And then we got the start cycle and hold cycle. So essentially you would just choose the recipe that is needed, and then you can hit the start cycle, and then the process can be started as long as all the set points are met. And for this instance, the door safety is not activated, so that would be triggered, and then you would be able to start the cycle. The overview trend, this will show you the actual trend of the process of what is happening within the system. So we'd have what the thermocouples are doing, reaching up to the particular temperature that is set, as well as a vacuum, and lead, lag, and average of the thermocouples as well. And that is the main, a lot of what the end user essentially wants is that trend screen, and actually see that it is meeting the parameters that are set originally. They can use it for their editing purposes. Here's the recipe editor. This is how you'd actually set up the system for each particular recipe in the cycle based on what that cycle requires. You to go through and you would determine what your pressures, your temperatures, your vacuum set points are going to be, how long you need to hold at that particular set point, how long it needs, or how long and how quick you need to reach that temperature or pressure. You can also control by leading, lagging, or the average of the thermocouples, and then enable which individual component needs to be enabled as far as the fan, pressure, temperature, vacuum, all the above or none of the above. The alarm screen shows if an individual alarm does go off, whether it has reached over temperature and over pressure, a door sensor has been triggered, whether or not something's been turned on or off, vacuum transducer fails, thermocouple fails. This is where it would be showed, have a list of those alarms as well. And as you notice, on top of each individual screen has that alarm indication up here in this top banner, so at any given time, no matter which screen you're on, it will show that particular alarm. And then of course, anytime you can print that screen, which is typically on the trend screen, you can print that particular screen for reference for your records. That brings us back to the main display page that the operators can see, and where you can log in, log out, and each system has a password protected based on what user is operating the system at the time, whether it be maintenance, engineer, or just a general operator, at which point each individual user also has restrictions as far as how much control they have within the system to be able to add and change recipes, or just simple choosing a recipe and starting it, or actually getting in and doing the maintenance and calibrations.
Mm-hmm.